MSU scientists looking for ways to help people in the West live with wildfires without suffering devastating losses. What they're recommending, coming up.
Thieves driving through this neighborhood stole several things off of several porches. The best part? It was all caught on camera.
Good morning to you and welcome to your Thursday. I'm Missy O'Malley with Chet Lehman. It is 6:30 and here's a look at some local headlines for you now. Wind is becoming a big problem for crews fighting the McCluskey fire just 10 miles east of Butte.
That fire now at 123 acres. It was started by lightning and is burning in very rugged terrain that's filled with trees killed by insects and disease. 93 crew members plus 2 helicopters are currently on that fire.
And late summer in Montana is still a prime season for wildfires. New this morning, research out of Montana State University deals with the future of wildfire sustainability.
Yeah, MTN's Carson Vickroy explains what that means.
Assistant Professor David McQuethy at Montana State and several other research professors were given a $290,000 grant to help address the challenges that land and community managers face during wildfire season.
We asked the question, what could we be doing better to not have these negative impacts and better live with wildfire in the West?
It's not a matter of if a wildfire will occur, it's when that wildfire occurs. And that's the mindset communities should have when preparing for one.
With climate changing, where we have warmer temperatures and longer fire seasons, fire is going to be a part of our landscape and it's going to be part of our summer fire season. It's not something we can avoid.
Fire-prone cities must consider this when planning for future growth.
We can start to remove woody fuels around homes and around communities that are in flammable landscapes. We can also start using much less flammable building materials and think about how we configure new developments so that they're not directly adjacent to all the flammable fuels out there, in particular forests.
In Bozeman, meteorologist Carson Vickroy, MTN News.
Now, researchers say the best time to do prescribed burns is in the spring and the fall months to limit fuels at the peak of that fire season.
Now, also new this morning, homeowners in California whose properties were spared during a massive wildfire 4 years ago are now paying extra for it.
Yeah, they say home insurance rates have gone through the roof. And as Bridget Borgelow reports, some homeowners are considering moving out.
People lived up here are prepared to, if they get the loss, they have the loss. They just take a chance.
People in Mountain Ranch like the scenic views of Calaveras County, but are paying the price for living in such a rural area. About 4 years ago, the Butte fire tore through parts of the county, destroying homes and leaving homeowners whose properties survived with soaring insurance premiums. Homeowner Jeff Colleen says the price for coverage in a fire-prone area has become nearly unaffordable.
It's getting ridiculous. It's a lot of money.
And he's not alone.
How people feel up here is they're getting forced out, whereas the Bay Area, which you may have $1 million homes, those homes are way less to insure. So it's almost like they're punishing us living up here in the foothills.
And some homeowners say they're having trouble even finding coverage. Just this week, California's insurance commissioner announced more than 340,000 rural homeowners were dropped by their insurance companies in the last 4 years.
Our goal is to protect people, and your home is a huge investment.
Karen Yates is an independent insurance broker who helps homeowners find fire insurance across the state. She says it's become harder in recent years to find coverage in areas of high fire danger because insurers have to protect themselves after being hit with billions of dollars in claims.
It's because those carriers have a heavy saturation in that area, and so they're looking at those losses, they're looking at those areas and saying, we can't continue to write this business. We don't have enough funds to satisfy those losses if they were to happen.
And for homeowners like Jeff Colleen, the options are pay up or leave, something that some of his neighbors have already done and something that even he's considering.
Actually thinking about that now. Yeah, just take a chance. Yeah, the house is small. It's a 960 square foot home. It's nothing extravagant. If we lost it, we could just build another one.
Wow. We were just talking about every action has a reaction. And
Always.
unfortunately, that's the reaction sometimes that happens. in all
No
of
kidding.
That, so.
Yeah. Wow.
We've been very lucky here so far this year. We've had a nice rain, even late in the season. So we're just now really seeing things drying out. And we do have more rain and lightning.
I was going to say,
possible.
just briefly drying out.
Yeah,
From what you're
right.
saying.
And we're going to see some more showers a little later today. Temperature is very mild this morning, into the 60s. Right now, the clouds are building in. We do see a few showers showing up on our radar, but most of that is on the lighter side. We're not really seeing much of that hitting the ground at this point. Planner calling for scattered showers and thunderstorms for the afternoon and evening. It looks like our western counties will see it a little earlier in the day. Later, the farther east you go, but some of those downpours could be on the heavier side. We'll, of course, talk more in depth about what you can expect over the coming days in just a few minutes.
And our top local story for you now, kind of a creepy one. A Livingston man is accused of taking photos of young girls inside the Bozeman Walmart and then deleting those photos so police wouldn't see them.
Yeah, Mark Booth charged with tampering with or fabricating evidence, which could end up as a 10-year prison sentence. Detectives say they got a call about a suspicious man in Walmart Tuesday morning.
And someone told police that Booth was taking pictures of a little girl while in line at McDonald's. Police pulled him over a short time later, and with his consent, they found photos of young girls in the store that he had taken pictures of. Now, detectives say while officers were reviewing those photos, Booth deleted them off of his phone.
Some of the evidence had been tampered with, and that's why there was an arrest that was made for the tampering with evidence, and now the investigation is continuing to kind of do some further determination of specifics on what was being photographed, people who were there.
Detectives say an investigation is underway regarding those photos.
Also, Gallatin County Sheriff's Office investigating a unique kind of burglary in the Belgrade area, one that was actually caught on camera.
Thieves were caught stealing stuff right off of people's porches. MTN's Cody Boyer has our latest details.
William Lambden says just seconds after he placed his $600+ miter saw out on his front porch here in this neighborhood, he came back out only to discover that it was gone.
It was really, for them, a crime of opportunity.
For William Lambden, the morning started like most others.
I set the saw outside at about 6 a.m. and set it in front of my picture window where it could be seen, and, I'd be sitting right in my living room sipping coffee. Then I went and brushed my teeth. In that time frame, my phone goes off.
It was his door's security system.
I didn't think anything of it until I go out front and my saw is missing. I'm like, what the heck?
What he found when he looked through the camera's recordings was nothing short of shocking. A group of men, seemingly just walking by, seized the moment, grabbing his saw, throwing it in the back of a pickup truck, then dashing off.
Which is super lame because you think after you've been in a neighborhood for a couple of years that you're safe there.
Now, this is something that has happened to many different people, including you and me at some point. But William's front yard wasn't going to stop these guys from unplugging the saw from this spot, coming up right here on his front porch and carting off with it. But thanks to this eye right here, he was able to catch the whole thing in the act.
William says others reported similar missing things from their own porches, and it gets even better. With the help of Bozeman City Police and the Gallatin County Sheriff's Office, the saw was found about 90 miles away in a pawn shop in Helena.
I had a serial number to give him, and sure enough, after I read him the number, he said, yeah, that's what we got up there.
Sheriff Brian Gutkin says this unfortunately happens a lot, but having this footage is a turn of luck.
Most of the time we don't have all of that information, which makes our world a lot easier.
As to his thoughts on if the other cases are connected,
I think this was a random one-time hit. We've had other construction thefts, but it hasn't been tied in with this one.
And as for William, his eyes will be a bit more trained on his saw when he gets it back.
Our community is very close, and we have an excellent investigative team. I hope that serves as a deterrent for any would-be criminals in the future.
Now, William does tell me that investigators are working with the Helena pawn shop to return the saw to him, but he did say the shop legally has a hold on it for the next 30 days. In Belgrade, Cody Boyer, MTN News.
In other news, Bozeman High School is getting a new principal, coming all the way from Michigan.
Yeah, Dan Mills will be replacing Kevin Conwell this year after Conwell had to step down because of illness last year. Mills says he's excited to be a part of the district at a time when it continues to grow and change.
Now, even though there are still a couple of weeks left of summer, Mills says he's ready for the students to be back.
Block off times in my daily calendar to be out and among the students. And as much as is possible with 2,300 students in the building, I want to know as many names as I can. I want to know as many interests and activities and what classes they like.
Now, Bozeman High does start right after Labor Day, September 3rd. Stay with us. In a moment, our chief political reporter, Mike Dennison, takes a look at healthcare costs.